between a smushed box and an over $100 price tag, is this new figure of baseball player on a bicycle worth it? Let's find out. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new Kamione, which is Tonsen Art Toys rebranded. I don't know if there's new team members or it's just a new change to branding. Well, it's definitely that. But there are two versions of this, 01B and 01A. I think one is a manga accurate color scheme and the other is something else. And this picture is for reference only. Now, this showed up from AliExpress, which was the best place for me to get a hold of this thing. However, the box has been absolutely demolished despite being in bubble wrap because it wasn't in a cardboard shipper. It was just wrapped. Now, this is from a store that I don't have any history with either, so I can't necessarily recommend them or not. I mean, they did ship it. It just took a long time and it was pretty pricey. I bought this as the tariffs were kind of all over the place. I guess they're still kind of all over the place, but enough about that. We need to jump right into this and take a look at this brand new figure from used to be Tonsen Art Toys, now Kamione. Even the box art seems a bit different from their older stuff when they were Tonsen Art, and that's okay. I mean, now you have a see-through window. Let's hope that everything is okay. Box is garbage, so that's fine. We're an out-of-box collector. I'm an out-of-box collector, so the boxes aren't that important. But sometimes things need to stay in a box for the sake of storage because I can't put everything I own on a shelf. First glance, looking great. Loving the accessories. Some of the paint work is kind of sloppy and not very satisfying. You can kind of see that now. He's got like hawked out skin. Let's push that to the side. We have another box which says roof. I don't know why it says roof. This should be the bicycle, but I don't know what to expect. Ugh. All right, I think it was just the stand that was flopping around, so we should be in pretty good shape. That's all looking pretty sweet. So yes, obviously this is Baseball Boy in an anime style, but this is why you get it. You now can build your Goku. Don't need that either. So let's just get everything out of the box and look at it with our eyeballs. At first glance, I am not as in love with this thing as I was hoping to be. Having Tonsen Art figures in the past, I have really loved those things. The Kid Buu is a great figure. It's got some issues, but their Trunks figure was phenomenal. This is feeling like there's a lot of very plasticky bits to it, that the paint's not as precise as you want, and maybe they were trying to offset some costs to get this metal bike in there. So that is a huge highlight, the fact that it's metal. But perhaps I'm wrong, so let's just look at these pieces carefully to find out if they are as bad as I'm thinking, or maybe it's better than I'm thinking. So let's start it off with this baseball bat. Option number one, it's bent a little bit, but I think that's just a byproduct of manufacturing or something. But for the most part, this is supposed to be just the straight bat. And then this one, which is curved, so it looks like it's in motion, which is pretty sweet. I mean, this ball having this kind of squished animated look is cool, but the bat being curved as if it's in motion is great. And we get this vest, which is necessary to complete our Goku from the manga look. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot going on in here. There are wires through the sides of it, which is nice. So as small as it is, you wouldn't expect there to be wires, but now it can look like it's blowing in the wind while he's riding that bike. Goku is apparently a guy that wears vests. Up next, we have this shoe. Now this shoe specifically, again, see, this is what I mean by it looking just straight up like plastic. It's a different plasticky look than like SH Figuarts or normal Dragon Ball figures. It seems cheaper. But the smart thing here is that this clips into the bike pedal. Up next, you've got this hand, which this is looking pretty good as far as paint. Any sloppiness that you see around the edges there, not so noticeable with the human eye, unless you're looking at this with your human eyes. Obviously, what I'm saying is we're putting this in the camera and amplifying any imperfections. Then you get a left and right of this key blast, which is looking really simple. Again, the edges of the paint between the skin and the glove, a little sloppy. Not as bad here. Right there, like this is fine. This, no good. And you get a traditional kind of key blast for Goku in this formation. And finally, a set of gripping hands for the bike. Not a lot to say here. Lacking some paint on the tips of those fingernails. or fingers. On by default, he's got punching hands because, you know, at the end of the day, he's riding a bike, doing a 5K or whatever bike things are called. He still has to punch people in their faces. These hands look the best out of all of them so far, the cleanest, other than like that little bit of plastic. He does have this watch on his arm, which is a fun detail to have. The face that is on him by default, again, this is just like a generic anime. It almost kind of, you could put it into like a Yamcha or a Gohan, minus the color of the eyes, but this is a face that don't think anybody really cares about. Baseball cap is looking good with the details here of like the stitching, but yeah, see, it's just not, it's not as clean as what I expect based on the history of Tonsen Art Toys. This is, like, I know it's a different company, but being the same people, it just feels like it's a different team, a different process. So this looks a little beat up, like it's gonna scratch when this happens, even though I didn't even do that yet. The arm, I saw it when it was in the plastic box. There's a little bit of overspray, like this was airbrushed or something. This, again, just kind of feels more plasticky than a well-treated product from Tonsen Art. I don't know if this means we should be worried about what this new brand is going to be doing. I hope not, because I really love their other stuff, and I was really confident that all of this was going to be fantastic. Now, all of these concerns and gripes are, at the end of the day, pretty minor, because I still, overall, am liking this thing. I'm happy with it, and I think for wanting something that's very specific that nobody else is ever going to make, like SH Figuarts would never make a manga cover version of this guy. Thank you, Gemma. My cat Gemma just brought me a toy. She comes in and brings me a toy. Oh God, she's going to smack me again. And she'll drop it at my feet. But she doesn't like when I use this voice. I have to talk to her like a baby. Up next, we have our Goku heads. And these are looking really fun. Downside is this very flat. Like, there is some sculpt to it, but it's so flat. Like, it just seems odd, again, for Tonsen Art historically to make that kind of face. Like, I would have expected that to be a deeper sculpt inside the head. I want it to just be like a complain fest, because overall, it's still really fun and super unique. And an alternate head slash faceplate that we get is this one, which is the wind blown in the hair. In the hair? His hair blown in the wind. So it looks like he's, you know, going ham on that bike. We get some alternate faceplates, so similar to what we just saw, but the eyes are looking straight on. Up next, you got this one, which is Goku has 10 more meters to make it to the finish line, and he's determined to be the winner. Does that sound right? And you got this one, which was very reminiscent of like a little kid Goku, like from Dragon Ball. This is very interesting. Unique choice on the face. Is this him drinking from the water bottle, probably? Is that what that's supposed to be? Glug, 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 glug. Did you need sound effects? No. Then we get some stand pieces. And I'm not exactly sure how all of this is going to go, but with my brain, I shall figure it out. Very straightforward. Any idiot can do it if I can do it. So that's fun. Then we get his power pole, which is on his back in the front of that manga. But the fun thing is, this still removes, as they have done traditionally from any brand, and we get a full-sized power pole. So now, if you have other Gokus, you can use this. You just need a gripping hand. But he's a fully playable action figure. He's not just limited to this bike. It's not a statue, it's a fully articulated thing. And this itself is a fully articulated thing, which is actually pretty wild. I want to say that they partnered with a company to make the bike, but I cannot remember. It's so hard to keep up with these third-party things and our limited information between, you know, Chinese and English on a lot of this stuff. But this is highly deep. This is absolutely the highlight of the set. Now, if you bought the other one, the other version, A or whatever, even the bike is a different color. So it just depends on what you're interested in. I mean, you have to buy two if you want to mix and match. Now, the fact that this bike is die cast really does put a lot of value back into this set. The thing is, it's just those tariffs really like doubled the price at some point, especially with AliExpress, where, you know, sometimes if you're doing a pre-order, you can get things at a great deal. what they should be going for. But then other times those prices just keep going up because there's nothing there to lock those deals in, especially if it's popular. But the details on this bike are pretty phenomenal. Now, obviously these handles don't work, but look, they actually have silicone hoses running to the front and back. Plus, back here for the chain, we have a rubberized chain. Rubberized? Well, it's just rubber, but it has the chain pattern in it. You have the gears back here. Look at this, it all functions. So if you're doing stop motion, I think you're gonna be ecstatic for something like this. Although it might be very hard. But obviously the wheels rotate, the front rotates. I don't think you can adjust the height of the seat. No, it's all one piece. But this is insane to have this level of detail on this thing. Again, this is full die cast, so it has a really good weight to it. Let's swap out the parts that we need to swap out. Oh, actually, no, not yet. We need to talk about the actual figure to see if the figure is any good. Aside from the paint details that we did look at, let's look at his articulation. The front and back, I think, are good enough, and as the things loosen up, it should be even better. Now, to ride this bicycle, I think he's gonna really need some serious butterfly joints, and it seems as though he does have those. It's just like Tonsen Art Toys in the past, these are pretty tight, so you just want to be careful. Obviously, you don't want to break anything, but those have some pretty good range going forward. If you go back real far, you can actually disconnect this plastic piece for his shoulder, which again, is just like really beat up out of the box. This is probably going to be the most cumbersome part though, as it is a little flexible and it wants to pop off of that joint. There's rotation up there and a ball joint, which is nice. We have double jointed elbows, which are fantastic. And then beyond that, we have a standard ball peg for the wrists. Hopefully those are strong enough to do some swapping. They seem to be okay. It's not too tight. He's got phenomenal crunch. Leans back, definitely have some rotation in there. I would be concerned about paint and stuff getting chipped up like that shoulder is in these sections though. Waist articulation, legs go out into perfect splits, rotation up there, thigh, double jointed knees, no boot rotation, but then we have standard ankle and toe articulation. That's what it looks like underneath, which is an interesting build. Doesn't look like this comes apart actually at all, which is a little unfortunate because it would just be kind of fun to swap things around and use this face just for fun, but yeah, that's it. This head just is what it is. We might have a little bit more range out of this head. I can't really tell. It seems like it's looking up a little bit more. This shoulder does continue to be a problem. I will have to see if I can mess around with that to get it to work, but I think having this vest on can help hide that a little bit. Let's see if we can get him onto this bicycle. It doesn't snap in. It just kind of sets there. Sits there? Sets there. Both? I can really appreciate this foot having the lock-in thing. I kind of wish you had it for the other side. It would actually help. To get it into the stands, pretty straightforward. It just locks into the front, the center, and the back, obviously. Oh, God. This is a really fun set. It does have its issues, absolutely. Hopefully that's just like a, I don't know, new business issue. And ideally, anything going forward would be resolved. And I think Kamione just advertised a Gogeta, which is my favorite out of Vegeta and Gogeta. Gogeta's the Vegito and Gogeta. Gogeta is my favorite. I don't know if it's going to suffer from any of these concerns. Hopefully not. Now again, this metal bike, great value, and I'm sure is a big cost factor in this whole thing. So maybe they were trying to resolve some of that by just using less paint throughout. As far as having an action figure that looks like a manga cover, well, other than that Bulma from SH Figuarts, I think this is it. We've nailed it. This is overall very fun. I think because the bike is metal, and if it was made by SH Figuarts today, $100 or so is kind of a fair price. I do wish it was a little less. We do have accessories that we don't necessarily want. They're just kind of extra fun things, I guess. Now, if we take our favorite new Goku from Daima. Again, you don't have to like Daima to understand that this base body is the best Goku that we've ever had. And I think that's what I'm trying to clarify in my other video, the review of this. This is the best base body. So that means anything we get with Goku after this is going to be the best version of that. These ball joints are totally different. So unfortunately, we can't get this on. Even because of this piece on the back of the neck, you cannot get this to work, which is actually really unfortunate. Replacing the ball peg is easy, and AFFM Customs would be able to make us one of these no problem, but now we would need like a full neck replacement. Now, what about the demoniacal fit Goku? Does that one demoniacally fit? No, I mean, the back of the head is bigger, so that fits better, but the ball peg is also still different, and we have some spacing issues because of the back of the head and the neck area, so we still can't get that to work. If you got a new ball peg, you could, of course, use the Kamione heads on other Gokus, but I don't know if there's really anything in those that is so great we would want to do that. Now, because Vegeta has a bigger ball peg for a neck on the most of his figures, we might be able to make this work. Now, this is a Tonsen Art head sculpt, so that might actually be a good fit as well. Well, this is what it would look like anyway. It doesn't want to lock in. There's just, again, there's a lot going on with that neck because of the back of it and the thickness of it, and then the extra sculpt back there. But, I mean, it's an option. At the end of the day, yes, I do recommend this thing, and if I can find a link to one, I hopefully can, then I will put it down in the description. The stores that I've worked with, they sold out of them immediately, and it was like they sold them, tariffs happened, canceled them, opened the orders back up again, and I unfortunately had to go with some site some store on Alley that I've never dealt with before. Well, there you have it, folks. If this is something you're interested in, I hope I can find a link down in the description that allows you to purchase one. If not, let me know where you can find it. If you enjoy this and you want to see that Daima Goku get reviewed, because it's the best figure we've ever gotten Goku, then click the top link there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.